What is up, everyone? This is SwordKing090 and this is going to be a brand new video for you today. And today's topic is about childhood movies. And I gotta ask you guys, what was your favorite childhood movie that you remember watching when you were young? It could be any movie, really. That I remember watching Disney movies. I remember watching a lot of different types of movies, mainly Disney. I grew up on watching Disney movies and they were great with the animation and all that good stuff. And of course, there were some movies that are very dark and I didn't understand it for its time. And now that when I'm older and I think about it, I'm like, wow, this is the things that I actually watched as a child and I never noticed these dark undertones. But I digress. A lot of them were my favorites, but not my all-time favorite. It just didn't have much of an impact on me than this movie. And that movie would be Pokemon, the first movie. Remember that movie, guys? The very first movie, honestly, the very first movie that Pokemon has ever been released back in 1999. My god, the VHS era, I can't even say that right. I got a cut on my lip and now it's just hard for me to talk. So if I start to slur, I apologize. But yes, Pokemon, the first movie, was the all-time favorite movie of my childhood. It was dated back over 15 years ago. I believe that I was either 6 or 7 or possibly even 8 at the time before the movie of Pokemon, the movie 2000 came out. So it was a very long time ago. I watched that movie so many times. I loved it so many times. I remember the whole I'm trying to remember which one this scene is possibly from because my memory is all over the place right now. But there's a lot of details that I remember so well. One of them that just always sticks by to me is the fact of the matter is that they made Mewtwo so cool. They made Mewtwo one of the best Pokemon ever in the series. And one of the scenes that I always would remember, that when Giovanni actually convinced Mewtwo to team up with him to make him the most powerful Pokemon in existence, they put him in that little mecha suit type of deal. I don't know if it's mecha, I don't even think that's the actual proper term for it, but that suit and as well to actually enhance its abilities and to make them hidden. And especially with the one scene when Giovanni was up against Gary, that was actually part of the series as well, like the first, or yeah, pretty much the first season. It was amazing, honestly. It blew my mind back then to actually see a movie scene that was actually part of the actual series. And they even mentioned that in the series as well. It's just mind-boggling of how they actually did it for me when I was young, of course. Like, for me, that was actually pretty cool. Not many movies actually go along with the series as well. It always has like a different type of side story or different side series that's not even part of the series and as well. That it's just a different storyline and it's like it never happened in the series. But to actually see that happen within the series and in the movie as well as being part of each other, that was what really astounded me. I really appreciated that the more I think about it, and not many shows actually really do that. Whenever they have a different movie, it's just nothing or not even part of the series on its own. And it's kind of good to think about that as well, because if they actually do have a movie that was actually part of the series and they expect you to watch the movie to actually get what's going on in the series, then that could actually throw a lot of people off. But reference wise, that was just pretty cool and awesome that they actually included it, like they linked with each other during that time. But just moving on from there is just the whole Mewtwo versus Mew type of fight. The most memorable moment, of course, this is spoilers alert. If you haven't watched the movie yet, I recommend you go watch the movie if you enjoy Pokemon. But the one that really impacted me the most was when Ash got turned into stone, when the power moves of Mew and Mewtwo collided with each other and Ash wanted the whole entire fight to stop. It was the clones versus the originals, when Mewtwo tried to actually make a clone army for, I believe that they're trying to actually make world peace, with the entire fact of the matter is that he wanted perfectly genetic Pokemon to run the world. So with that fight going on, the originals versus the clones, and then you got Mew versus Mewtwo, then the ultimate attack of both Mew and Mewtwo collided. Ash was caught in the middle of it because he wanted the fight to stop, and in doing so, he got himself turned into stone. and then you see Pikachu running over, and Pikachu just calls out to Ash. He tries to actually revive Ash. Then he thundershocks him a few times. Seeing that nothing actually worked, then you see the most saddening scene of the whole entire movie, and it's them feels. I'm still getting the nostalgic goosebumps as I'm talking about this. It's weird. I don't know how else to explain nostalgia, but you guys know what it feels like when you actually have nostalgia. It just feels like goosebumps are all over the place. But in any case, that scene, that infamous scene that is just, you see Pikachu cry. And then he continues on crying, and then all the other Pokemon around him that saw the scene happening right before their eyes, they all started crying. The clones, the originals, no one would not stop crying. And that scene really impacted me because I started to cry too. It's like, was this the end for Ash? I had no idea what was going on. It was the first time actually seeing that movie. And I actually cried along with the Pokemon because it was very, very sad. And then, of course, with all the tears from the clones and the originals, actually just, for some odd reason, they actually had magical powers. All the tears were actually flying towards to Ash when he was turned to stone. And the tears of all the Pokemon was enough to actually revive Ash into his former self. And again, it was very, very sad, but in the end, it was more of a heartwarming feeling that, again, I cried for. I was cried because I was very, very happy about this. But that scene in itself, no matter how many times I've actually seen that movie, I've actually kept crying every single time I watched that movie. And I watched that movie like around a good over 30 times. And granted that I was younger at the time, but if I were to watch that movie now, I would still have them feels. Again, I still have the nostalgia even thinking about it and even talking about it. Them feels, man, them feels. It's just so powerful to think that such a cartoon could actually have an emotional impact on myself. And that, I'm not afraid to admit it. Honestly, I'm not afraid to admit it. It was just them feels, guys. Them feels. Just that memorable scene. I cannot actually forget about that scene. If I could look for the clip on YouTube, I will post that on the description below so you could take a look for yourself. But if you haven't seen the movie, I just recommend you watch from beginning to end. They just made Mewtwo so powerful in that one. And his quest for world domination and his understanding of how this world works is just a very, very powerful thing. And another infamous scene that I remember was Mewtwo controlling the ocean with the palm of his hand type of deal. He just keeps flinging his wrist over and over and over, just writhing up the waves of the ocean, continuing on doing so with the dramatic music and everything. It's just so many things in that movie. It's just so wonderful. I just love it. I'm not too sure if I'm blinded by nostalgia glasses, but just for the time being, when I was young watching it for the first time, I just loved it. I loved it. It made me just want to actually play more and more Pokemon. I really want to play Pokemon right now. Well, it's that I have all the games so far as of the DS versions. Not the Mystery Dungeon version. I just have a lot of the different versions that I have right now. Just, you know, black, white, black 2, white 2, X, Y, Omega Red, or sorry, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. I have Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Pokemon Platinum. I have a lot of different games, guys. I have a lot of different games, and I'm still playing them every now and then. It's just more of a laid-back, casual time, just to pass the time. But still, my favorite childhood movie would have to be Pokemon, the first movie. Oh my god, I want to actually look for it again. I'm not even too sure if I still have it, but if I do, then hooray. If not, then, well, there's YouTube, right? But in any case, that's going to be the end of that question. So if I got to ask you the same question, what is your favorite childhood movie? Let me know in the comment section below. Which one do you remember watching over and over and over again as you were a young child? Like, well, just give us your whole story behind it. What were some of the most memorable scenes that you remember? What was your favorite scene? What's the most saddest scene? What were some of the scenes that you never actually understood, but now that you're older, you actually understood what the meaning behind that scene was? Just let me know what you guys' like favorite movie and everything along with that in the comment section below. So that is all I really gotta say for now. I got a lot of work to do. Gotta remove all the last layers, make sure everything is clean and all that good stuff, put all the torches all around. I got a lot of work to do, and that slime is still going after me. God dang it, slime, I really don't like you. I really don't like you. You're cute when you're tiny and insignificant, but when you're large and giant, you really are painful, honestly. You really are painful. But nothing else for me to say. I'm just going to end it off here. So if you guys have any questions for me to answer or any questions, yeah, I just said that. God dang it, I'm messing up my own outro. So if you guys have any questions or like hypothetical situations, anything you could think of that I could make a video about, just whether it be this or that, whether you want to do this, what would you do, or anything like that, anything could happen. Just let me know what you guys will want to hear about, and then if I do make a video about it, then I will credit you verbally within that video, as well as I'll link your channel in the description, giving you thanks for helping me out with something to do or something to talk about for that day. So that is it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. If you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe, because I upload videos every single day except for Sundays, because that's going to be my day of rest. All my social media is down in the description below, so if you'd like to contact me, you may do so. And that is it. That is it. A lot of work. A lot of blocks to mine up, so let's see how much I could actually get done before the next episode. But in any case, that is it. Before I repeat myself, have a great day, everyone. I got an arrow on my head. Oh, no, nope, it's in my eye now. Okay, now it's in my head. Have a great day, everyone. I'm ZordoKing090, and as always, I will see you in the next video.